Okay, we are live. Okay, we are live. Hello, Tracy. How are you? We are going to be live. Already we are live. So we just ready in a minute. I think the audience will be join us and we will properly start our session. And first of all, very warm welcome for today's session. And we are welcome from NFTP and from e-Rozgaar team. Very warm welcome. And in a second, we will ready to start. Okay. Then I will properly introduce yourself.
Thank you, darling.
And networking, and we are very lucky and feel obliged by she is here by us and ready to share their expertise, their knowledge. So we are very grateful. And this is a new edition in e-Rozgaar and NFTP. We are trying to request to international author, international professional. They come, they add value in your life with their expertise, their knowledge, and we are grateful. We are start from Tracy, which she shows a massive interest to add value in Pakistan student, and she recently visited Pakistan, and whatever their experiences she loved to share. And after a few minutes, we will definitely start today's lecture, which you are waiting longly. So it's over to you, Tracy. You please continue. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much, Imran. And it's great to be here. So girls and boys, ladies and gents, thank you so much for jumping on today. Really appreciate it. And I love talking about networking and building connections. We did quite a lot of networking while we were there. We went to the Lahore Expo. I visited quite a few places in Lahore. We went to the Lahore Fort, which was fantastic to see how some of the history of Pakistan, and really enjoyed that experience. And then I flew down to Karachi. So I was in Pakistan for 4 days, flew to Karachi, and then flew into Dubai then on the way back to the UK, and I dropped in there for 3 or 4 days. But one thing I'll say with the Pakistan community and the people, if I could describe one word of what you gave me, was hospitality. Welcoming hospitality. That's 2 words. It was amazing. And what was so lovely to see was that everybody, you and I obviously got together, Imran. Thank you so much for offering me this opportunity to come on and add value to your students. What you offered me was, I'm always so grateful to add value to young people's lives, because anything is possible. And I want to share with you today, students, that anything is possible when you start talking to people, you connect to people, and you understand what networking is. Because I'm going to let you into a little secret before I start. I was rubbish at networking when I first started. So I used to go to a networking event, and my boss at the time, I used to work for a business magazine. This was back in 2007. And my boss said to me at the time, I want you to go networking. And I said, networking, what is all that about? And he said, when you go to these business events, you swap your business cards and you do business. And I thought, that's okay, I could do that because I grew up in a British pub. So my parents used to run a British pub. So I used to go downstairs into my living room and it was a pub full of people. So I was always surrounded by lots of people from a very young age. And my parents used to make me work on the weekends behind the bar, collecting glasses, bottling up, putting the bottles on the shelves. And that's how I started to become more engaged with the general public and start talking to people and building relationships. But what I didn't get taught when I first started networking, that networking isn't about coming into the room, giving it the hard sell and trying to push yourself on people and trying to sell your products and services straight away. Because guess what? That didn't work. I did try that. And people were, oh my God, who's this pushy saleswoman? Because I was obviously in sales. And because nobody had taught me the concept of it, the first 3 months, I got it completely and utterly wrong. So what I did over the next year, from getting no business for 3 months and then learning the craft of how I got it right, I went on to sell over £95,000 worth of business just by talking to people. And I'm going to share with you how I actually did that. So if you don't mind, Imran, I'm going to do a share screen. And I
Yeah,
will go.
definitely. You please. Yeah, you please continue.
So I'm going to go through with you now. I'm just going to move that over. One sec. And I'm going to press play. And I'm going to start. So Intrabiz, connecting businesses working together. So what do we do as a business? Before I start, I'll just tell you a little bit about my business. Intrabiz was born after me learning how to network in the right way. We are a networking company and a connections agency that bring people together. So our strapline is creating and connecting communities for global opportunities. And throughout my presentation this morning, what I am going to share with you today is the do's and don'ts of networking, but I'm going to also share some stories of good things that have come from doing things the wrong way, and then obviously flipping it and changing it the right way. So Intrabiz started in 2007, where I started my journey, and we launched the business in 2009. And obviously we've been going for over 15 years. And there's lots and lots of things we do as a business now, which is absolutely incredible. And it's by talking to people and connecting with people that is when new opportunities have come for me in my business. So I'm just going to share with you a few things. Okay. So how to monetize your network. So as we travel further into 2024, it's now more than ever fundamental to have a successful networking strategy for business growth and to achieve more exposure for clients. Okay. So I've got a networking acronym. Okay. So N stands for new connections. E is for enthusiasm. T is for trust. W is for warmth. And I'm going to touch on all of these points throughout the presentation. O is for opportunities. R is for relationships. Knowledge. K is knowledge. You've got to have the knowledge to get out there. You've got to be interested in others, and you have to nurture, and you have to be giving as a person when you're out there networking with other people. Okay, so here we go. So the first one is making new connections. So how many of you listening right now, you are scared of maybe walking into a room at a networking event full of people, and you walk in the room and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want people to look at me. I'm on my own. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I really don't want to walk into that room. Well, just think of this, because there's lots and lots of successful people out there in business who are introverted, who are shy, that don't like getting out of their comfort zone. But when you're in business, you have to, or when you're employed in a company, you have to go out there. And if your boss has told you you have to go out and network, you have to get uncomfortable, okay, to grow, to learn, to develop. And that is why we can create more opportunities. So just picture this. If you think to yourself that you're scared of walking into a room full of people, or you're feeling that little bit nervous, just look in the mirror before you go and think to yourself, I'm good at what I do. We all have our zones of genius. We are all amazing at what we do, and you have to tap into what you are good at. So for me, I absolutely love people. I love talking to people. I love connecting people. And I love getting to know people at a deeper level, which is why I love what I do. This business is not my job. It's my lifestyle. I live, eat, and breathe it. So when you're making new connections, just think to yourself, I'm so good at what I do. And when I walk into that room, it's my duty to pass on the knowledge that you have to share with other people so that they can grow in their business by giving them your services and products that you can help them in their business to grow. Okay. But if you think of it as your duty, rather than just thinking, oh my God, I'm dreading this, I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable, think of it as your duty. Flip your mindset, because networking is never ever about you, and business is never ever about you. It's always about what you can do for other people. So business is all about solving a problem, serving a need for other people. So what you must think of doing is thinking of it as your duty to pass on that knowledge to other people. And when you flip that mindset, it's amazing how more comfortable you feel. And I've shared that with thousands of people over the years, and I've had so much feedback going, oh my God, yeah, I can really see when I walk into the room, I'm not dreading it. I'm not thinking of myself. I'm not focusing on myself. I'm focusing on other people. Now, when I came to Pakistan a couple of weeks ago and I attended the Lahore Expo, okay, there were some of the young startups came up to me because there was a little networking event that was going on after the pitch that was done, where all the companies were looking for investment, and they ordered a pitch. And at the end of the session, they created a little networking event. And I had some of the startups come up to me, introduce themselves, and they literally just started pitching themselves to me. And I was like, whoa, you're not supposed to do that. You know, it's very overwhelming for somebody to just come up and say, imagine if I went up to you and said, hi, I'm Tracy from Interbiz. I make really good connections for you. We create and connect communities for global opportunities. Would you be interested? No, it's not going to work. And people would be like, whoa, that woman is too full on. And that's actually did how I start. I started to do it that way, but it was the wrong way to do it. So what you have to do when you make new connections is you have to engage with them, and you have to build rapport. You have to ask them lots of questions. You have to get to know them and show an interest in other people. Because again, when you make those connections with people, remember, always think this is never, ever about you. It's about what you can do to add value to their life and to their business, or to their role in their business, what they're doing for the company that they work for. So always think coming from a place of serving rather than selling and trying to pitch to people, because you have to get to know somebody first. And I'll share with you along the presentation the benefits of that, what comes when you start to get to know people. So always go in with the duty. What it's your duty to come and serve other people and see how you can help them, not just going in with a hard sales pitch, because if everybody did that, it would be very overwhelming for everybody. Okay. So the next one, so N is obviously for new connections. E is for enthusiasm. Now imagine if I came on the call today and I just said to you, hi, I'm Tracy, I run a business network. I connect people together. And I'm in monotone and I'm boring. It's not about that. You have to be enthusiastic about your own business, because if you're not enthusiastic about your own business, you're not going to get anybody else to be enthusiastic with you. Does that make sense? So like attracts like, enthusiasm attracts enthusiasm, success breeds success. Like-minded people want to be associated with like-minded people. And when you're enthusiastic and you've got people around you who are also going to be enthusiastic about your business, you're more likely to engage with them at a deeper level, and they're more likely to want to work with you. But what will happen is when you're enthusiastic about your own business, they will then tell other people about your business, because if they then enthuse about your business and they're really buying into you, people, when they buy into people, are more likely to recommend other people when they are engaged and when they're enthusiastic about your own business. So just think of that for a moment. How many times do we see on Facebook when, someone will say something like, can you recommend a photographer? Can you recommend a painter? I need a painter painter and decorator to decorate my house. when you get recommended by other people, the price becomes less sensitive. So if you think about this, would you rather go and find somebody that you've never had a recommendation from and go and buy from them and pay one price? Or if you get recommended to somebody else by somebody else that they're really good service, you might have to pay a little bit more because the price is a bit more. You are more likely to pay that little bit more because you've been recommended by somebody else, because they've also been enthusiastic about your own business. And again, when it becomes less price sensitive, it becomes easier to sell your products and services because you've been recommended or referred into something by somebody else. And again, people would rather buy from somebody that has been recommended rather than going in cold to a new company that you know nothing about. There's no guarantees, but all of a sudden it's that social proof that somebody has recommended you. And when you've got that recommendation, it's amazing what comes from that. So I can't stress that enough. You have to be enthusiastic about your own business because other people will be drawn to you and good things will come and recommendations will follow. So the next one, I cannot stress this enough. You have to build trust in the business community. Now, I'm a big ideas role model for Welsh Government, and I go into a lot of schools talking to the students about networking, how to network, and show the opportunities for them. Now, if Welsh Government didn't trust me to go and deliver that, I'm not going to create an impact for those students. Does that make sense? So Imran and we had a conversation. He got to know me. We started connecting via social media. You came onto my networking platform. I came over to Pakistan. We met in person and we started to build the rapport and get to know each other. And we started to build trust in each of our businesses. Now, if Imran didn't trust me to deliver, hopefully, an impactful session today, I wouldn't be here, sitting here, delivering this for you today. So what comes to build trust is you have to show up for people, okay? If Imran invited me and I didn't turn up today, is he going to trust me again? No. Is other things going to come from Imran? No. Are there going to be another opportunity if I didn't turn up today? No. Why? Because I'm unreliable. And if I'm unreliable and I don't show up, there's no visibility there and there's no trust there. So they won't recommend me to anybody else. So you have to show up for people. You have to be committed. But also, when you're building trust, you have to build sincerity. You have to be sincere in what it is that you do. And I'm very much of the person that if I've got any issues in my business, I'll share it with people. We're all human beings, first and foremost. We all make mistakes. I share a lot of my mistakes. I've made thousands of mistakes in my business over the years. And I share that with people. Why do I share that with people? Because I want people to know, first of all, I'm a human being and nobody is perfect. Okay. But by sharing that and sharing my mistakes, it also helps to educate other people and empower them not to make the same mistakes that I've done. So I always like to share what I've done wrong, but then I also like to share what I've done right as well, which is why I'm talking to you right now today. So building trust, having the integrity, but also being competent and having the consistency to show up. Because again, when you show up on a regular basis, it's like when I say, when you meet somebody at a networking event, and if I say to somebody, I'll follow up with you tomorrow, I always say this, the fortune is in the follow-up. You have to follow up with people. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make in your business or in your job when you go networking, is you don't follow up with them. People take time out of their working day to go to a networking event. By the time they travel, if it's an in-person event, by the time they prepare and get everything ready, and then they get back to their office or their home if they're working from home, it's taken a few hours out of your day. So if you're taking a few hours out of your day, you need to follow up with people. So it's so important to make sure when you go to a networking event that you follow up with people, and the fortune is in the follow-up. Because again, if you don't follow up, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens, and no business is done, and no opportunities are created. But also, going back to this slide, the trust will go. Because if I say I'm going to follow up, I follow up with people. So people start to realize that I'm reliable. If I say I'm going to do something and I do it, oh, she said she'd do that and she's done it for me. She said she'd introduce me to someone. She's introduced me to someone. She said she'd show up for this session today. She's shown up. So do you see how when you start to build trust, other opportunities will come from that, which again, I will share with you during this presentation. So trust is probably in the top two things that you should do when you're building your network, is to create and build trust, because so many good things will come from that, which again, as I say, I will share with you. Now, I'm going to share another little story with you. Now, you have to be warm. You have to have warmth when you are connecting with other people. And what I mean by warmth, I don't mean to be hot, sat round a fire. What I mean is welcoming other people. So you and I talked about somebody being shy or introverted at a networking event. You can usually tell from somebody's body language how they are feeling at a networking event. Because those people who are feeling shy, or they're a little bit introverted, or they're feeling uncomfortable, they will either go over to the side of the room up against the wall, or they will go near to the drinks and they're hovering around by the drinks because they want somebody to talk to them, or they're fidgeting, or they're perspiring a little bit and they're starting to feel a bit agitated. You can usually tell, or they might have a stressful look on their face. The best thing you can do to them is smile at them first and foremost, which I smile a lot. Okay. I smile and laugh a lot, which I think you should do. Business should be fun. Networking should be fun, and connecting with people. And when you create that warmth around you and that fun, that laughter, those smiles, more people will want to be around you. Who wants to sit around somebody who's miserable, or who's crying, or somebody who's just got a face like thunder? Nobody. We all want to be around energetic people. And that's what, people are attracted to that. People are drawn to success. As I said earlier, success breeds success. And warmth brings more warm people to you, and creating that belonging. Now, I'll share this story with you. I attended a networking event, and this is what I mean about being warm and what it did for my business. I saw a lady at a charity event. There was about 250 people in the room at the Vale Hotel in Hensel in South Wales, where I'm born. And I went up to her and I could see she was feeling uncomfortable. She was stood on her own. She was feeling a bit agitated. She was fidgeting. She was over by the Proseccos, the glasses of wine when they were handing them out. And I knew
Tracy, I like to add one comment. Some of the students say that if you can speak little louder, okay, little louder, so more clear, and little slower, because might be the English, the accent, they
okay.
can get easily absorbed. That the
Okay.
feedback. So thank you.
No problem at all. I can talk louder for sure, and I will talk a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So I'll share
Okay.
the
Thank you.
story at the hotel. There was this lady stood on her own, and I could see she was feeling uncomfortable. And I went up to her and I said, I'll just say, and I'll just make up a name. I'll say, it's Helen, isn't it? And she said, yes. And I said, hi, it's Tracy from Intrabiz. How are you? And she says, oh, I'm okay. And you could see she was a little bit panicky. And I said, would you like me to introduce you to some of my friends this evening? And she said, yes, that would be amazing. So I took her over to a group of people and I introduced her to about 5 or 6 people. And there was 2 little groups. So there was a group of, say, 3 people and then a group of 4. And I introduced her, and about 10 minutes went by. And I said to her afterwards, she came up to me and she said, oh, Tracy, she said, I really have to go now, but I just want to thank you. And I said, oh, what's that for? She said, you've made me feel very welcome. You've made me feel great this evening. But I've got a table of 10 and my guests and visitors are arriving, and I have to go and introduce myself to them and welcome them to the event. But thank you so much. And she said, we're not involved with Intrabiz, are we? And I said, no. So she said, can I have your card? So I gave her my business card. Always carry your business card wherever you go. Because when you carry your business card, it's amazing when someone might ask for that and they may need your information, which you can then follow up with. But always ask for their business card, which I did. So remember what I said about Fortune in the follow-up? She basically said, give me a card. Obviously, I gave her my card. I asked for hers. I followed up with her the next day, and it took me about 4 or 5 days to get through to her on the phone. And I eventually got through to her. We arranged an appointment, and I went in to see her and spent about an hour and a half with her and one of her managers. And I came out of that appointment with £5,000 worth of business. Why? Because I made her feel special. I made her feel comfortable when she was uncomfortable. And when you can make somebody feel special, we all want to belong to something or to someone. And when you can make them feel that they belong and that you care and you're giving them warmth and you've introduced them to people, they will never forget you. Now, did I really think that by introducing her to a couple of people that I would walk away and a week and a half later with £5,000 worth of business? Not a chance did I think I would do that. But it's because I was warm and I made her feel comfortable when she was feeling uncomfortable. So I implore you, I encourage you, when you can go out there and start talking to people and you can make them feel special or you can make them feel comfortable when they are feeling uncomfortable or they feel a little bit overwhelmed at a networking event, when they're stood on their own or they're walking into a room full of people, go over to them, because that is when you will really connect with somebody at a deeper level. And you never, ever know where that will take you and what will come from that introduction. So always be warm. So now I'm going to share with you, opportunities are everywhere. They are all floating around the universe. Some people don't see the opportunities. They don't identify the opportunities. But more importantly, they don't take action. So when you find an opportunity, and believe you and me, every single person that you meet at an event, there will always be an opportunity to add value to each other's lives, to help and support each other in each other's lives, and maybe do some business in each other's businesses. And I'll share with you a story. I'm going to show you, where is it? This one, sorry, I've had to go back a slide. So for those of you that may know Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson, I will say.
Tracy, just hold a moment. I was just checking, are we live properly? Just a second, because I find video was stuck. Just a second. Let me check. So we should just a minute, okay?
Sure.
The YouTube going is perfectly fine, but Facebook is little stuck.
No probs.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, some technical issue. Just a minute. They are fixing, right? You know. Okay, you can mute the mic. Just they are checking.
Is it okay now or?
Just a minute. They are checking. They say that you can mute the mics, and we are just go live in a minute. Okay, Tracy. You can continue. Back.
Amazing. So I'm going to just go over
No.
slightly the opportunities in case it was cut off. So I'm now going to talk to you about opportunities. Opportunities are endless and limitless. Now, with opportunities, a lot of people don't identify them, they don't see them, and they're all floating around the universe like little butterflies. But more importantly, not everybody takes action when it comes to opportunities. And this is what you have to do when you see an opportunity, and there are opportunities everywhere. Every single person that you meet, there's always a way that you can add value to people's lives, and you can really find ways of growing your business and growing your network through opportunities. So I'm sharing this photo with you. Now, for those of you, I'm not sure that anyone who knows who he is, but Sir Richard Branson, he is a billionaire. He's a UK British entrepreneur, super successful with his brand, the Virgin brand. And I had the absolute utmost privilege to meet him. That was the second time that I met him, actually. And I'm a massive believer of the law of attraction. So I was speaking on stage a couple of years back in about 2018 at an event in Dublin. And I believe in law of attraction. So if there's something that you want in your life, go out there and make it happen for yourself. But you've got to put a plan in place for what it is that you want. And I was sharing on stage that one day I said I didn't know when and I didn't know how, but I was going to meet Sir Richard and I was going to go to Necker Island where he lives. And they do a lot of business retreats there. but I was going to take clients for the experience, because my business was never about me. It was always about others. And remember, I mentioned at the beginning of the session, IntraBiz is all about creating and connecting communities for global opportunities. So what I did, I actually shared this on stage, saying that I wanted to meet him one day. I came off the stage and a gentleman, Brian, came up to me, who was from Belfast in Ireland. And he said, a friend of mine has just come back from Necker Island with Sir Richard. She's an amazing human. Her name is Hannah Kathleen Hawkshaw. She's a digital nomad. She travels the world, and she's been a blogger since the age of 14. So if you're very young listening to this, anything is possible. So Hannah had just come back from Necker Island with Sir Richard, and Brian said, I'll introduce you to her. Now, when I got introduced to Hannah, I didn't think for 1 minute that I was going to end up on Necker. I just wanted to speak to her just to see what was the conversations like. What was Necker like? What was Sir Richard like? What did you learn from the experience? Asking her lots of questions about it. But what actually came from the program, from me having that conversation with her, was she connected me to the guys that arranged the event on Necker that she went to. And I ended up connecting with them, and they invited me to go and take clients along. Yes, it cost money. It was a big investment to go. But because I took people with me, it was an amazing, amazing experience. So I took 5 clients to Necker Island. And off the back of going to Necker Island, I met another gentleman called Anil Gupta. Now, Anil had been going back and forth to Necker Island for the last 15 years. And in fact, Anil is there right now as I'm sitting here today. He's there for a few days on a retreat with Sir Richard because he shared it on Facebook yesterday. Now, Anil said to me, we connected on the event. We sat down, we were having dinner, we were chatting, we got on really, really well. And he told me what he did. And he was a happiness coach, helping people with their mindset. And he said, are you going on Sir Richard's birthday bash next July? And this was in December 2019, 3 months before COVID. So I said, I started to laugh and I said, I don't know what you mean. What is Richard's birthday bash? I said, I know nothing about it. And he said, well, he's launching Virgin Voyages and I'm taking some clients on his trip. Why don't you bring some clients and they can all meet Richard? He's going to be on the ship for his birthday and his family and friends and colleagues. And it'll be an amazing experience. And I said, that would be fantastic. So I created another product in my business for the Richard Branson cruise ship IntraBiz experience. And I charge people £5,000 and £8,000 to go. And obviously, I initially sold 18 spaces because I booked 10 cabins that you had to share 2 people in a cabin. And obviously, I told all my clients that they had to share. I sold 18 spaces just before COVID because we came back from Necker in December 2019. And in January 2020, I started to sell the Richard Branson cruise ship experience and sold 18 spaces. But obviously, COVID hit in March 2020. So it got postponed. And because it got postponed, it didn't actually happen until July 2022. And I didn't end up taking 18 people. I took 7 people and my daughter, Carly, who's also in the middle of this picture. She also works with me as the operations director in IntraBiz. So we went on the cruise experience. We took our clients, which was fantastic. They all met Richard. They all had photos with him. He's an amazing human and super successful, multi-billionaire. And we had lovely conversation. And as you can see from that photograph, we had a bit of fun because, as I always say, that business should be fun and networking should be fun with people, because business is hard, right? It's not easy. You have to get up, and you have challenges in your business, but you have to get up and fight and keep going and never give up and focus and be determined. And that's what building relationships in your network is all about also. So I share that with you because obviously opportunities are everywhere. Now, if I hadn't have spoken on stage, I hadn't have spoken up and said that I wanted to go to Necker, I would not have created this opportunity, which added another £60,000 onto my business turnover. And there was some nice profit in that as well. So you can see by connecting with people, by doing things. So the opportunity that I had to speak in Dublin, that was another opportunity that I had. If I hadn't have agreed to speak, I would not again have had that opportunity, because I wouldn't have been at that event where I shared what I wanted to achieve in my business. So by putting yourself out there, by being visible, by showing up for people, and obviously I love to publicly speak. So for me, that was an ideal opportunity that I created another opportunity for myself. So what can you do today to create more opportunities for yourself? Just start talking to people. Share with people what it is that you want in your life. Where this is not a rehearsal. I always say this, life is not a rehearsal. This is just, we're here for a short time. So make it count. Enjoy it while you're here, because when you enjoy it, this business of mine is not a job. It's a lifestyle. It's in my DNA. I absolutely love what I do. And when you can enjoy something and you enjoy a job, because let's be honest, we all spend a lot of time in work. So isn't it far better to enjoy something and go out there and network with people and surround yourself with really good people? Because when you do, that's when really good things happen. So the next one I'm going to come on to is knowledge. You have to have knowledge. So K for knowledge. And what I mean by knowledge is, before you even go networking, you need to get your pitch right of what it is that you do. What is your products and services? What problem do you solve? Who is your typical client? Who do you want as referral partners? So those of you who don't know what a referral partner is, we create a lot of those within Intrabiz. And a referral partner is a little bit like having somebody out there selling your products and services when you're not in the room. So to give you an example, a wedding photographer with a wedding planner would be good referral partners for each other, because they have the same target audience. They both want to sell their products and services to bride and grooms who are getting married, but they don't do the same. They complement each other. So finding good referral partners that complement each other's businesses, that are happy to refer business to each other when they build trust and they build the rapport, that is when you can get more sales in your business or the company who you're working for. Because if you get good referral partners, you will get regular referrals coming in and recommendations. Remember, I talked about recommendations, people on Facebook saying, do we know a photographer? Do we know a painter and decorator? When you get good referral partners, you will get a constant flow of leads coming into your business or the company that you work for. Does that make sense? So having that knowledge before you even go to an event, you have to get your pitch right. So when you have got that time, you need to sit down, and I do networking training courses. And in my course, I deliver of how you create a 1-minute pitch, a 2-minute pitch, and a 5-minute pitch, because different networks give you slightly longer to pitch your business. So if you're at a networking event and the event organizer says to you, okay, Imran, it's your turn now to speak for 2 minutes. What are you going to say about your business or the company that you work for? You need to get your messaging right, because unless you get your messaging right, nobody's going to be attracted to you. Nobody's going to be interested in you, and nobody will want to do business with you unless you get your messaging right to the target audience that you need. So your target audience is, who is your typical customer? Okay. So you've got to get that right. And having that pitch and getting 3 pitches, a 1-minute, a 2-minute, and a 5-minute pitch, is absolutely instrumental before you even go networking. Okay. So the last couple now is, you have to nurture your relationships. And what I mean by nurturing your relationships is showing up for people. Remember I said about building the trust, showing up on a regular basis that you're still there for people, showing up for people that if you may have something new in your business that you are wanting to get across to more people, you can go back to your relationship with the person that you've nurtured your relationship with and share them what it is that you're now doing. You're doing something else in your business. They might be able to help you. And again, when you nurture the relationship, it might be that you meet somebody one day, you'll meet up with them the following week, and you might arrange to meet them in a month's time. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks go by and you say, send them an email. How are things? You know, how is business? How are you doing in business? Is there anything I can help you with? Again, that's showing that you're showing up for people, you're building the rapport, you're building trust, but you're nurturing that relationship. And again, when you nurture the relationship, they will also recommend you to other people. And every single person that you meet at a networking event, you will always find a common ground in each and every person. And not everybody identifies it, not everybody sees it, but then when you do, it's amazing what you get back. So nurturing is so instrumental. And the last one is giving. I cannot stress this enough. If you give to people first, if you show up for people first and you add value in their businesses and you show that you care, because everybody wants to know that you care about someone, that you care about them, that you're giving them time, you're giving them your attention. And you know, when you're talking to somebody and how you can build trust and show that you're giving them your attention. Say, for instance, Imran and I are having a conversation and he says, I've obviously got my branding design agency. I work with a lot of startup businesses, but also a lot of companies who are looking to raise their profile and really build their brand awareness online. And he might say, I deal with a lot of solicitors, accountants, and financial advisors. We might carry on the conversation and then 10 minutes would go by. And I'll say, Imran, you know, you said you were looking for accountants, solicitors, and financial advisors. I've just thought of 3 people that I can do an introduction for you. And he'd be like, oh my God, you know, how would that make you feel, Imran? That would make you feel good. Because what it's shown is that you've given your time and your attention to what they are saying. So by repeating and reiterating, maybe 15 minutes down the line after they've said what they've said, and you go back to that general that conversation that they said that they needed help with, or they wanted to be connected to someone, that shows that you've listened to them. Because imagine if Imran told me all that information and 15 minutes went by and I went, oh, tell me, who do you need to get in front of, Imran? And you'll think, oh my God, I told you that 10 minutes ago. She's not listening, obviously. So you have to build trust, okay? And you have to listen to people, because when you listen to people, that's when new opportunities will happen. And every single person that you meet, you'll always find a common ground in each and every person, but it's how you deal with it and how you show up for people. And if you can show up for people and you can really show them that you've given them your attention and your time, you've made them feel special, okay? You've been enthusiastic. It's amazing what you will get from that. And that is what I believe that networking truly stands for. Thank you so much for your time and attention, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Tracy. That's really, really great and amazing words. Your experience, I think, is counts a lot. And it's really, really helpful for our student. Those who only believe the only freelancing is the websites, only the way to get business. If I wrap up quickly, the way you think, the way you sum up, the thing is not only focus on freelancing platforms, go and get networking as well, meet people, do warmly, don't be shy, don't be hesitant about it, what you have, what you can do. Let's discuss, make connection, okay? And also those make connection that believe you are can add value in their business, as well as you can make and collaborate with them. And also to tell about you can be my next referral as well. Okay. So in that way, and this is the session whole idea all about, to come up professional and enlighten them with their other professional experience. Don't focus only one thing, the freelancing platform. There is other big channels are available. Only thing you have to find new avenues. So I do believe once you find new avenue, it will be a chance for new revenue. So find new avenues. Don't push on the only one way. You can already try thousands of times. Go out, network, meet people. And thank you so much for your wonderful experience, your success stories. And I think definitely it will helps to our community, our students, and I am very grateful from behalf of, once again, our NFTP team, our management team, our e-Rozgaar team, our joint director, Mr. Ahmed Islam Saab, who allow us to bring you and share your expertise. And if someone has any question, so please feel free to ask the students, and we will definitely uh, make a post for detailed feedback as well. And you please tell about how's your experience, how you learn, what you are more expecting from us in the future. So we will definitely request to Tracy. They will sometime come again and share their knowledge, and we will learn and definitely earn as well with the knowledge they pass by us. And once again, thank you so much, Tracy. Have limited time.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh,
If anyone's got any questions, I'm more than happy
yeah.
to.
If
Uh,
you guys any question, you can please feel free to ask. We will also the share our the Tracy social media account details, and so you can also in future in touch with her as well directly. And whatever your problems you facing, you can discuss. She love to help the community, especially the Pakistani people, and this is our honor for us. She value us, and yeah, definitely she is available on LinkedIn as well. Those who like to connect on LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn is the best platform for professionals. So make a connection over there as well, and that would be super good for you. And inshallah, in future we will conducting more session as well.
Also, I
With
know that
video.
Munibar, if that's how you say it, let me just put my reading glasses on, was saying share how to network
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. Well, that's another thing. I'll quickly share a quick thing with you, a quick tip. Never ever network on LinkedIn and go straight in for the pitch, because that literally puts people off. So it's a bit like, always think of LinkedIn network as if you were in person with them. If you were going up to meet someone, you certainly wouldn't go up to meet someone and say, "Hi, I'm Tracy from Intrabiz. I sell, memberships." Excuse me. So build the rapport first. So send them a happy birthday or how's business doing. Show an interest for them. And when you do that, sorry, I'm just getting over COVID. Oh, dear me. So yeah, just do it as if you were in person and just start to build rapport first. That's what you do on LinkedIn. Don't give it the hard sell.
So nowadays, the LinkedIn is the best way to connect, and you guys also do make connections. And future, we will also make a session on LinkedIn as well. How you can potentially use LinkedIn, how to can relevant, or you can create targeted connections as well. So that would be beneficial, and in future it would be converted in your potential customer as well.
Yeah, Nadia is just saying, I just want to share this with her, because I think this will benefit a lot of people. I think some people feel hesitant about. I can see I don't know whether there's any more comments. Oh, hang on a minute. Is there any more?
I think so. Might be maybe some distraction, but we have. I think we can finish today's session, and I will share you all the feedback. Okay, I will collect the feedback and get back to you, and we will see what student talk about and what their question have, and we can see how we can manage. So we can do like that. Okay. So Tracy,
Amazing.
once
And
again, yeah, yeah. Thank you so very much to be here and enlighten us. We are so grateful for you, and in future we love to see you again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me on. I love adding value and hopefully making an impact today. So, guys and girls, go out there networking and just connect to people at a deeper level as a human. Just remember that we're all human first and foremost. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Bye.